All right, howdy y'all. I am Elijah Britton. I'm going to be going over my final module, my module for SLP, in which we were asked to speak about the different things that we learned in our Introduction to Operations Management class and how we're going to apply those to our professional life. I've recorded this a couple of times because I keep going over the time limit, so hopefully I don't do that again. So if I'm talking fast, please excuse me. Got a lot to talk about in like 3 minutes. All right, so let's get started. The first thing that we kind of went over in our first module was metrics. And metrics are anything from how we describe a person internally who we're working with in our own offices to the people that we're trying to sell things to the people that we're trying to do business with, all that kind of stuff. So for me in my professional life, as a contracting officer in the United States Air Force, the metrics of the people that I'm going for, who I'm kind of building my own professional services for, are our mission partners and the individuals that we work for and the organizations that and agencies that we work for in the National Capital Region in DC. The metrics of the folks that are in my office are airmen, civilian, contractors, et cetera, et cetera. And we have to take these things into consideration when we're building products and we're providing information so that we can kind of get that out to everybody and provide a little bit of what they need in every service that we supply. So in the Air Force, we have not only airmen, as in military airmen, but we have big A airmen, as in airmen in general, and so we in civilian in general. So we can't just apply everything to the military and hope that it works. We have to take into consideration all those different kinds of people because it is a melting pot. Another thing that we need to take into consideration is the efficiency of how we are managing our time. So if we're just given a lot of little one-off tasks, those onesie twosies, we're not utilizing our time as wisely as we could, and we could be putting that towards the bulk of our work in contracting. So we could be helping our customers, building that knowledge base, providing better information not only to them who we're doing business with, but also for the people around us, sharing that information instead of writing 100 little emails about yes sir, no sir, that could have been handled a different way. There are a couple constraints that we have in the Air Force, and that's kind of what we went over in Module 3. Um, our primary constraints are manpower, aka the people that we have, and financing. You may have seen uh, time and time again in the news that the DoD is spending a ton of money, but that doesn't mean that it's just going towards our bases supporting our airmen. And a lot of what I do in operational contracting is that support of airmen and their families. Um, so those services, those supplies that directly relate to the mission on an installation, and that's helping people actually live on that installation. We also have the manpower constraints, like I said earlier, uh, and capitalizing on that efficient time management is how we can make those few people that we wish we had more bodies, but we just don't, how we can make them as efficient as possible in their work, in their duty hours. Um, Finally, we went into CPM, which is critical path management, and also PERT. In my job, I think that CPM is a little bit more applicable. I work as a quality assurance program coordinator, which works with contracting officer representatives for quality assurance stuff. And a lot of that has to go into construction. And CPM lends really well to the construction realm because it allows for a little bit more flexibility as well as um, repetitive tasks. So if you're doing a lot of things a lot of times, it allows for kind of the overlapping of those tasks so that you can schedule things with, like I said, a little bit more flexibility. So being able to build CPM and use a CPM tool in the future or read one just in general allows us as contracting officers to work better with our project management counterparts and our contracting officer representative counterparts. and it makes just the whole contract and project work a lot more smoothly. So yeah, I'm over again. This is as small as I can make it. Hopefully it's okay. So I tried to touch on a little bit about all of the different modules that we went through and a couple little topics from each one that I use or can use in the future in a contracting office in the U.S. Air Force. I appreciate your time. Again, sorry I'm over. Have a good one.